friends, it's Kara from iStampin.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I have got this absolutely precious Halloween card using some products from the Toil and Trouble product suite. This is just a really sweet 4x4 card that I made, and I colored in the adorable little witch image, and then I even created my own envelope that fits in there perfectly, and this is coming from the Toil and Trouble Designer Series paper. So you can just see how precious that is with the little witch's brooms. So I thought that I would show you how to make the card. I'll briefly go over how I made this with our envelope punch board. But let me show you the items that you're going to need to make this. So the first thing that you're going to need is the Cauldron Bubble bundle. Now I will let you know that the framelits are on back order. You can still order them, but it will just be a couple of weeks before you get them. Or you can easily do some fussy cutting of the girl. The other thing that you are going to need in the way of cardstock is you're going to need a piece of gorgeous grape. And I have cut this to 4x8, and I've scored this at 4 inches, so that gives us our 4x4 card. So just burnish that with your bone folder. Then what I've done is I have used a variety of our die cuts to cut these shapes out. This is our Highland Heather cardstock, and I used the largest stitched shape square for this one, so I used the largest die cut. Then this is our silver glimmer paper, and I used the die cut that measures 2 15/16. And then this is our black foil paper, which you can find in the holiday catalog, and I used the large scallop square, so that's coming from the Layering Squares framelit. So you will need your Big Shot. So we're going to be attaching those in just a few minutes. Then I've already got this set up is using my Stamparatus because I want to make sure that I get a good impression of the witch, and I'm using our shimmery white paper. I like to use this when I'm coloring with the Stampin Blends, so I highly recommend using your Stamparatus, because if you don't get a clear image using the Memento Tuxedo ink, you can go back and re-stamp it, and it will be in the same position. Also, I'm going to use some Granny Apple Green for the sentiment, and I'm actually going to be embossing that. So you'll need your Versamark ink, and then I'm going to be using our black embossing powder along with our heat tool. For the Stampin Blends, I'm going to be using a variety of colors. I've got my Smoky Slate bundle there. I've got my Highland Heather combo pack. I'm using ivory, and then light soft suede. To notch the banner, I'm just going to use our Taylor tag punch. I've been using this a lot, so this punch is coming super handy. Adhesive is just going to be a combination of snail, Stampin' Dimensionals, and tear and tape, and then you'll also need your embossing buddy because we're going to be embossing. So why don't we do the girl first? That's going to be the part that takes the longest, but it's so much fun. I love coloring. So like I said, I've already got the girl on my plate, and I'm just going to ink this up really quickly with Memento Tuxedo ink. So you want to make sure that whenever you're using the alcohol markers or Stampin' Blends that you use, my favorite ink of choice is our Memento Tuxedo ink. All right, so I'm just going to stamp right here, and if I need to stamp again, I won't have any problems. Nope, that looks good. So I'm just going to remove her. All right, so let's start working on the girl, and I'm going to have my little sample right here so I can follow along with what I did last time. So if this is your first time using our Stampin' Blends, they're wonderful alcohol markers. They're great for beginners like myself, and I love it because there's a light and a dark, and it's really hard to screw up. So I'm just going to start off by coloring in her witch's hat. I like to use the pen end, the fine tip, over the brush end. I feel like I have a little bit more control. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and probably speed up this process so that you don't have to watch it in real time. But what I like to do is I like to start off with the lightest color and then come back in with the dark shade and just put in a little bit of shading where I think it would naturally fall on the image. And then after I've done that, then I come back with the light color and just blend it in. And some other colors I forgot to mention is Pumpkin Pie, and then I'm using the dark Daffodil Delight. Okay, so there was my quick version of coloring in the witch. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut this out. I'm using the matching framelit, and like I said, these are on back order, but you will definitely have these in time for any Halloween projects. So let me go ahead and die cut this out, and then we can move forward with the rest of our card. Okay, so this is what she looks like when she's all cut out. Isn't that just precious? All right, so let's start building our card. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and put the black foil scallop square down first. And as I'm putting this together, I just have a couple of things that are going on the final week of September. The first thing is my Stampin' Anonymous tutorials. This is the final week where you can get the September tutorials for free. If you make an online purchase, you will receive 6 tutorials, and they are phenomenal. They're full color PDF instructions. So like I said, you can get them for free when you shop in my online store the rest of this month. You can also get them free when you become a part of the iStampers family. So I would love to have you join my family, and you can get that for free as well. And so I just attached those two things with snails. Sorry, I was kind of talking and forgot to say what I was doing. And then lastly, the last way that you can get the tutorials is to purchase them. The purchase price is $9.95. And you would pay that via PayPal. So I'll have all that information down below for you to be able to review that. And then lastly is the Pineapple Punch Club, which is my hostess club. We've got a few more members that we're looking for, and if I can get that full, we'll get that started in the month of October. So again, that information will be listed below as well. All right, so I just put tear and tape on the back of this stitched square. I find that this is the best adhesive to work with our glimmer paper. All right, so there we go. So we've got that really fun layer. And you can see here in my sample card, I just used Whisper White, but I thought it would be fun to use the silver glimmer paper. And then this is going to be put up with a combination of our mini dimensionals and regular size dimensionals. We've got some small little parts of our girl here. Make sure that's not showing. Yep, that's showing. I got to move this over just a little bit. Oops. You want to make sure that this part of your card is really well supported. So, you know, you want to take the time to put dimensions where you know, in all the little nooks and crannies. You don't want your focal image to be saggy. I'm not going to put one at the very top of our hat because that's going to be kind of overhanging the squares. Okay, and you just want to make sure that none of your adhesive is showing. And so I'm just going to put her up about right there. So her hat hangs over just a little bit from the card. Isn't that just precious? I love this silver foil. I think that looks really, I mean the silver glimmer paper. I think that's really pretty. All right, so next let's do our stamped sentiment. So what I did here is I'm just using the Happy Halloween that comes from the same stamp set, and it's kind of a thin font. It's not very bold, so that's why I decided to emboss it to really make it stand out. So here I'm just using my embossing buddy. And I've got my Versamark right here, so let's go ahead and ink this up. Okay. And if you don't have black embossing powder, you could always use silver, but I just thought the black was really pretty. And so I'm just going to sprinkle that on there. Okay, let's go ahead and heat it up with our heat tool. Okay, so that's all done. So what I'm going to do next is I just like to cut this down. Okay, so I've got that cut down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Tailor Tag Punch, and I'm just going to notch the ends. I just kind of eyeball this. But I want, let's see, I may need to cut this down just a little bit. I want the banner to be a certain length. Perfect. Let me make this just a little bit. This is, I'm just kind of like, you know, this is just trial and error. You just kind of have to keep punching until you feel like you got the length that you want. There we go. I just wanted it where it extends over the squares. So next what I'm going to do is just go ahead and put this up on dimensionals, and then our card will be all done. just a fun little Halloween card. And I love coloring. I love using our Stampin' Blends. Now I am going to kind of cover up her stockings. So I guess I really didn't have to cut. Well, they show a little bit right there. But there we go. And actually, I didn't mean to do this. You only need to put dimensionals on the side, not in the middle. So let me remove that one. There we go. Okay. Whoops, let me kind of, there, that looks better. Yeah, so just put your dimensionals just on this side of the banner. And then how to make the envelope, all I did is I just used our envelope punch board. I found the 4x4 card size, so it just required a 6x7/8 by 6x7/8 piece of designer series paper. I just scored it along the score lines, and you have your little custom envelope. But just how precious is this card? I hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Again, that was using the Cauldron Bubble stamp set along with the matching framelits, and if you get the bundle, you do save 10%. All right, guys, well, make sure that you subscribe to my newsletter. I send out exclusive projects every week, and it's a great way just to keep up to date on all the latest happenings of my business. Thanks, guys. Bye.